I'll tell you a little bit about me. My name's Jessica. I'm 31. I'm a victim of abuse. In this video is surely to hold someone accountable for the atrocities that they have committed towards me. I am tired of feeling alone. I'm tired of feeling afraid. And I'm tired of people telling me to shut up. So here goes. I have a lot of controversial matters with my family because of what my father had done to his family. So I'm just going to give you a brief history because I want to hold him accountable for his atrocities that he has committed. So my father molested me and my sister when we were small. I mean, as a sexual offender, you're supposed to register in the United States as a sexual offender. And if you get deported into another country, I don't believe they do that. So my father spent a little bit of time in the jail in Hawaii, and he was deported back to the Philippines. He pled no contest. So there's that for me as an individual to see his case as you're fucking guilty. Okay. So, moving forward after everything was said and done and years went by, you know, and I got all my answers from my mother, you know, and I just had a vision of my father in my head growing up. You know, I had a vision of him, how he would be or how he ought to be, you know, for me as his daughter, you know. So it all came down to my mother had a mental disability, and she just broke down and could not take care of me and my younger brother anymore because we were just out of control. So she sent us to the Philippines. She asked my father if it was okay, and my father didn't even think twice, you know. I think he was being very selfish because my mom was saying that she would send money and that, you know, I'd still take care of the children. So I think all he heard was money, really, and, oh, I got to be, you know, whatever. It was all for benefit for him, really. And so we go down there, and I'm afraid, you know, because I have a memory of my father when I was little that hasn't ever gone away. It's never changed. I can't change it. Whenever this memory pops up, it's the same memory. Like, I cannot change anything in this memory, you know. It's of me when I was 3 in the bathroom with my father, and he's making me touch his private parts. And it cannot change. I cannot go away. I cannot get out of the bathroom. So I know that I pushed it in the back of my mind and just could not do the math and science for it because that was my father. That is my father. I trust my father. I look up to him. He's my mentor, you know, he's my protector. I didn't know that it was wrong. So I just pushed it in the back of my mind as a memory. So we go out there. I protect myself, you know, never alone with him. Never. And time went on over there, and people started asking good questions like, how come you don't send your father back with you to America? And I'm just sitting there with these people asking these questions like, you don't know what's going on? You don't know what happened? You know, I was like shocked. So I told them what happened. I said, my father molested me and my sister, and he cannot go back to America. He was deported, you know, and they just looked at me like I was crazy, like I was slandering the name, the family name, like I was the embarrassment, you know, for saying these things. I was the crazy one, you know? So the word got around and it finally got back to my dad, you know? And he came up to me and he beat the shit out of me. He beat the shit out of me. And then on top of that, he kicked me out on the streets in the Philippines. I was homeless. I was a 13-year-old homeless living on the streets in a third world country, you know, per my father, for 8 months. And a lot of things happened to me while I was out on the street, you know, and then fucking one day, 8 months later, out of nowhere, my father finds me and he says, "Come home." And I'm looking at him like, no, I refuse to come home. You know, like, I was so upset at the fact that my own flesh and blood would let me stay out on the street or molest me or beat me in front of people and prosecute me in front of these people for atrocities that he committed, you know. I was baffled by it. I was shocked. I was shook, bro. I was shook. So I did not go home. I didn't. I stayed homeless on my own accord, you know. And my family is so pissed that I am speaking about these things because to them it's not true. It's not true because nobody has proof. As a 3-year-old with that was traumatized, that has a very vast span of memories, as a 3-year-old, that is my proof, and that is my only proof. Okay, and just by all the other things that went along with that, you know, like preventing me from talking or you know, putting me out there on blast in front of everybody to make me look like the bad guy, you know, like deterring the spotlight off of him to reflect it on me, and it was just beaming off of me, girl. Like, I was the bad guy. Like, I was the bad guy. Understand how crazy I felt, okay? And I'm gonna hold this man accountable. Even if he is my flesh and blood. Even if it was me, I hope somebody that had the right fucking mind frame would hold me accountable. Okay? I'm going to put my dad on blast right now. I forgive my father for his atrocities. I am clear-headed. I have no animosities towards my father for any of the past things that he has done to me. Because as long as I know that I forgive him, it doesn't eat me up inside. But every time I talk to my father, he starts to cry about, you know, me forgiving him. So that just says to me that he did do these things. He cannot look me in the eye and be honest to me. He has yet to apologize. He has yet to humble himself and stop his narcissism and just apologize. He's like the minor case of Ted Bundy. And he will not proclaim it until he is put in a corner to where he cannot fucking have no avenue to say whatever. Okay? Now he's in the Philippines, a free man, taking care of other people's daughters. And they fucking know of the atrocities that he has done to me. And they still let him watch their daughters. Okay? I hope one of these days that he comes to a self-realization, maybe on his deathbed, hopefully. And he just understands that whatever he had done in his lifetime, his life was a lie. He is the epitome of a fucking loser. And as a product of him, I shy away from who he is what he did, what that type of person he is, I am an improvement of where I came from. I am like 20 times way better than my father, you know. I am blessed to have gone through these things and to say it, and hopefully somebody can listen to this video and not be afraid to say anything, even if it was their father, you know. Have the strength, have the courage to say something. Protect yourself, because you have to.